Welcome to Moms with a Mic. I'm Julia Bagg.
And I'm Marissa Bagg, and today we're tackling a pretty big topic for any parent, potty training.
Yeah, I get anxious just hearing that. Big challenge for a lot of parents, and that's what we've been hearing from a lot of moms and dads, so we want to tackle it.
Yeah, in fact, I was talking to a friend of mine who has teenagers, and she was telling me that, essentially potty training, nothing compares to that until you teach them how to drive. So I was like,
Whoa.
Okay, so once we get this one under our belts, we don't have to worry for a while,
Oh my
right?
goodness. So right now, Ellie is potty training, and she is 2 years old. That's my niece, Marissa's daughter.
Yes, so we knew she was really interested in the potty. She was kind of asking about it. So we figured that would be a really good time to go ahead and jump in and give it a whirl. I read a couple of books, and then we got started. And I know it's kind of on your mind, right? You're not quite there yet.
I mean, we're right behind you with my son, Ethan. So he's 6 months younger than Ellie, and he says the words poo-poo, pee-pee, and we're trying to get his attention, and somebody just gave us a little potty to use, so we're just kind of on the verge of where we go from here.
We figured we would share with you some steps that we're kind of going through, what's helped my husband and I and Ellie in this process. And the first one I would say is to be consistent. Whatever you decide, how to move forward with potty training, try to stick with it, because for example, we decided, okay, once we're done with diapers, we're done, and she's just wearing little underwear. She's not wearing, diapers anymore during the day unless she's sleeping. So naps and of course overnight. But whenever you have a problem or she has an accident, sometimes you're thinking, oh, let's just put a diaper on her. It's so much easier. But you can really confuse kids with that. So I feel like one thing I've learned is once you decide that you're going to do something a certain way, you have to stick with it, because
Stick with that. Don't change it up because they get confused.
Yeah, it's easy to send mixed messages. You're kind of already mixing them up, right? Throwing potty training into a situation. So being consistent, I would say, is what I've read the most important thing.
And that seems to have helped you guys.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, there's been bumps along the way. She's had accidents, and it is easy to get frustrated.
You were telling me this. I mean, one day you were on your way home from work, and you told me how Ellie had an accident at preschool, and so I know it really kind of takes an emotional toll on moms and dads.
Right, and you think, oh, well, my child is gonna get this done and catch on very quickly, and obviously that's just setting yourself up kind of for failure. So it's a lot to take on, but you have to, right, also set realistic expectations.
Yeah,
with Julia's going to talk about that.
So setting realistic expectations, this isn't something that your kid is going to learn in a day or a weekend. Of course, every child is different, but really keep in mind here, don't set a deadline for yourself, because this is something that's going to be an ongoing learning process, right? And that's what I say to my son a lot. I say, Ethan, honey, you're learning and mommy's learning too. Right? So this is something where you're going to want to clear your schedule when you start out. And that's what you guys did, and it really helped. I mean, when we say clear your schedule, like take a weekend where you're not planning to go anywhere, you don't have to run any errands, you don't even have to do laundry, or just don't do the laundry, right? It can wait. And take that time and focus on your kid and taking those steps to make this transition.
Right, because you're really going to have eyes on your son or daughter at all times. Essentially what I learned is you're kind of looking for their cues, their signs. They're about to need to go to the bathroom, because they're not all verbal, always going to say, I need to go number 1 or number 2. They, may kind of like cringe like this or look like they're unsure. Every kid is different with the signs, so you just have to have eagle eyes on them. It's almost like having a newborn again, because you're just like watching them all the time, which can be a little exhausting. And we did it for 3 days, and then my husband had a couple more days off, so it was really almost a week that one or the both of us were home with her.
And was she home that entire time? She didn't go to preschool then?
Right, so we kind of did it over a school break. So yeah, she wasn't going to preschool. We had anybody who was helping us take care of her here at the house, be it grandparents or our nanny. Everybody was coming here to the house. We weren't really taking her anywhere. Again, because you want to be consistent, right? You don't want to teach her all these things at home and then take her to Abuela's house and everything's in a different spot. You know, that's only kind of setting yourself up to have accidents because everything's different. You kind of have to keep them home.
Right. And you did a really good job too of making sure all the family members are on board, all the caretakers, right? Everybody involved, you know, knows this is how we're doing this, so we're all, you know, taking care of Ellie at the house over this time period.
I would say the next thing is the positive reinforcement, right? You want to celebrate every step in the right direction. Whenever she would actually go to the bathroom on the potty, oh my gosh, that sound of the
little tinkle.
The little tinkle. It's like you feel like you just won the lottery. It's such a great thing to have, and we would give her high fives. We would cheer for her. We would clap. You know, if one of us was on the other side of the house and we heard it, we would start cheering and running over to her. And she really enjoyed that. You could tell she got all excited because she knew she just did something that she was supposed to do. I know a lot of people either give their child a little toy or candy. Totally cool, whatever you decide. I just know if you're doing that multiple times a day, it can add up to a lot of treats, right?
A lot of candy and a lot of toys.
There's gonna be bumps in the road. You know, we've had accidents out running errands. We've had accidents where I'm holding her and she goes, if she's upset, you know, so all of that is going to happen.
It's a big change, you know, it's a big change for the kids and for us.
Right.
They've been wearing diapers their whole entire lives, right? You know, 2 years or 3 years or fewer or whatever, and all of a sudden, no more diapers.
Right, which we even told my daughter, we'd be like, hey, no more diapers, these are going away and you're wearing underwear, this is gonna be great, you're a big girl now. And she feeds off of that. If they do have an accident, don't get upset, don't get anxious, because that's just kind of projecting on them. If they know they did something wrong, you know, that may kind of create more challenges in the process. So I would certainly, for you, I know sometimes, you know, your heart drops when you see that they've gone number 2 in their underwear, but you just kind of have to say, okay, you know, we had an accident, we're going to fix this, and next time we're going to go poopy on the potty. So. Yeah.
So that's a lot to digest, and we've got more strategies ahead for you too.
Yeah, because just knowing kind of how you're going to execute it, you also need the tools and the supplies with you, which we learned along the way, in order to make potty training happen. So we're going to talk about that just so you can get all of that stuff ready, so that when you pick your go day, you have everything with you.
Yeah, you can be prepared. So thanks so much for watching Moms with a Mic.
We'll see you on the supply side of everything you need.